Gemini, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do a reading for you for May. We're going to take a look at the overall general energy, what you may not see coming, and get some important advice from Spirit. Why am I shuffling? I'm going to pull some oracle cards first. I'm shuffling. Ooh, okay. So it looks like, Geminis, you're looking at future vision, future visionary thinking here. I'm getting with the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. What is going to bring you the most success and happiness for the long haul? A lot of you are really thinking about stability and the sustainability of your stability when it comes to your career and your connections. It's like a life review. What's going on here? All right, we're going to leave that there, but I'm getting that you could be doing some big picture thinking here during Taurus season, which is not uncommon. It is a very earthly energy, and you are, it seems like you're dream weaving a little bit during this season about the future. All right, let's see. Let's look at some of the frequencies. Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Geminis. And thank you for tuning in. As always, it's special to be able to connect. Let's see what's happening here. Woo! Well, I'm going to take the ones that are upright, and the ones that are face down we're going to put back, because a lot came out upright. We're going to tell you the story here of what's happening. So, wow. We have attraction, will, wealth, and synergy. Yeah, you are looking at what's going to create harmonious connection with synergy, a wealthy, prosperous future, and what you need to do right now in order to attract that through your strength of will. Big picture thinking. I felt it coming in. And I think you're realizing too that your thoughts and your beliefs are going to have a great impact on what you set in motion, the ripple effect in this season, outwardly towards the future. So you have a super moon influencing you this month. It has a numerology of 44. So that's a powerful energy of attraction. So this is powerful manifestation energy. And how much are you going to exert your free will in this strong period of attraction to create more wealth? Yeah, it feels like there's intention setting, but there's also this reality could be emerging for you where you see the path clearing about what you are calling in, and things, I'm seeing things coming full circle for you. Some of you are attracting new spiritual friendship. It's been a very common theme for the collective lately, and also a path towards more abundance for you. I like this. It's very broad. Let's get now into the specifics of where you're at. I already shuffled, but let's do one more. So I want to see what's at the surface. 10 of Cups, 4 of Swords. So this is taking a pause. It's almost like resting in the, forgive me for saying this, but resting in the bosom of peaceful experiences with people. Because this is, I've never said it that way. And isn't that true? I mean, I remember being a little kid and just, it's being held, right? Being held in, it's this nurturing quality I'm coming at here with that. Being at home in the nurturing of the love that emanates from the peace of being with the right people. 10 of Cups. I love 10 of Cups. It's been coming out a lot for the collective. Let me move these. Oh, and as far as the numerology, we have 44 to another 4, 13, 444. Okay. This is the angelic realm. As it's lightening up. It's been overcast this morning, and it's like things are lightening up for you, Gemini. But 444, that's the light. That's being held in the arms of the angelic realm, being supported on your path. As you start a new beginning, 28 goes into 1. That's a new beginning. And then we have 24 going into 6. So it's almost like the angelic realm is supporting a timeline for you right now that is deeply nurturing and supportive for your path in your connections. And whenever I see 6, it really is our soul bonds. So there could be a significant shift in some of your soul bonds during the month of May that feels very healing. You could be going through a deep healing phase, and there have been people that have come towards you. They feel like deepening of some already existing connections, but also some new connections as well. Let's see. Current energy. Yeah, going through death, rebirth. You're coming out of it. It came out sideways, so it feels like you're coming out of it. Yeah, and it could be around. Sometimes this is the first thing I'm getting here, and just I got to go with my gut. Feeling alone on the spiritual path. 5 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, over death and rebirth. You were led and guided to go into a deep cavern, right, of your own being to transform your life. And you could have decided, I'm going to start doing different things for myself. I'm going to stay committed. I'm going to be disciplined. You know, I'm going to see the higher truth of my path. And there's some things that you've been releasing. 5 of Pentacles. It's almost like you're coming out of a period of, sometimes when I get this combo, it's the spiritual lessons that we learn following a dark night of the soul. Okay. It doesn't feel heavy. Some of you might have been, but this is it's like a huge 180, you know, coming out of something that felt heavy, confusing, full of sadness, loss, uncertainty. It's what it feels like. You were going through this period of uncertainty, and now you're coming out of it, and you're kind of like, it's that time period when we come out of something and we're deeper. We have a new layer of understanding of our path and ourselves. So, in other words, Gemini, you've been going deep. You've been going deep. All right, let's see. Page of Cups. This is the card of creativity, new connections. I'm feeling like there's something new coming in after a period of loss. It could be a new community. Let's see, though. 2 of Pentacles. You could be juggling a lot this month. This is my card of, you know, just being very busy, having a lot on the plate, looking at the schedule and going, I need to manage my time better. You are showing me that you're disciplined to releasing what needs to be released from the past. You may have had some sort of ending, and you've been moving through that ending. And now you're kind of, it's like when you peek through the curtains and you're like, you know what, it's time for me to get out there and do something new. And you may be going back and forth about how to go about that if you're trying to attract just new energy into your life. Page of Cups. Page of Cups. I like that, though, as it's curiosity. You could be curious about something this month that could be putting you, I don't know. The challenge is boundaries. Having healthy boundaries in the very beginning of discernment. A lot of times boundaries, if it's a boundary to the past and it's necessary to protect your peace, that's one thing. And then there's also boundaries around your discernment, around, okay, well, I feel like you have somebody coming towards you and you're not sure about this person. And you're coming out of the wake of something that really impacted you. All right. Near future, King of Cups. Well, we're going from the Page of Cups to the King of Cups. So there is an increase here in the heart and what you or someone else is pouring into this. It's also you, I think, going through, I see this often too, when we come out of a dark night of the soul, there's an integration period after it, or whatever you experience that doesn't have to be as intense as that, but any kind of shakeup in your life. Because whenever we see the death as the foundational energy, you have come from some sort of shakeup. There's an emotional maturation period coming out of that and during it. And then you deepen in a new sense of embodied understanding of self. And I think that's what you've been going through. 9 of Cups. You're in search of emotional fulfillment. And I think that you realize that you got to start finding it within and source it within first. And that's when you have to pull back your energy and make sure that you're not, overgiving into any kind of aspect of your emotional energy in any connection. You're doing really beautiful work of coming into balance in your life so that when you are engaging with people on an emotional level, it's not off balance. And you may have been called to release something that at one point you were committed to. I want to get a frequency. Integration. What'd I tell you? That's what it felt like. You've been integrating emotional integration after a loss, but also this emotional maturation. We all go through different levels of emotional maturity because it's not black and white. There are shades. It's like It's not like you were emotionally mature and now you are. It's more like, well, I've gained a little bit more emotional mastery where I understand my feelings, my desires, and what I need in order to be happy. Integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. Yeah, you're integrating the polarity of positive and negative, and I think you're having like almost a foundational shift in the way you perceive yourself. This feels deeply, you've been going through a deeply embryonic phase of being less self-critical, and then it's allowing you to give yourself an opportunity to pull back and come back into balance, recognizing it's like you're becoming more of the observer in your life. I like this a lot. True integration. And we have the colors of yellow and blue. So you could be coming from where you find your seat of empowerment, which is your solar plexus, and then combining that and opening up your throat and communicating more. Less from like, because I understand this as being an air sign. You may feel like you have become hyper aware of looking at what could be wrong. And it could be around an emotional connection in your life where things have been off. And instead, you're looking at what could be right. It's a big shift in how you perceive a situation. And this could be anyone in your life, okay, with the Page of Cups. Sometimes it indicates someone younger than you, definitely heavy water energy surrounding you. I also feel like you're going through a purification in your own emotions during this month. But I feel like there's this shift going on. You may feel like, for those of you who are parents, that you've had to pull away from your child. You were deeply committed to them. And now it's like you're allowing them to live their own life in a certain way. I'm getting that too. That's just a side note for some of you, okay? Let's now go into clarifying. I want to go into the Page of Cups. We have the King of Wands and the Eight of Cups. Yeah. Something I'm getting like almost upset, really upset you. This is my card of, King of Wands is fire. Fire meets fire. And it's at the highest level. And then with Eight of Cups, it's almost like you've been releasing some emotions around someone in your life. Page of Cups. Maybe trying to understand things a little bit better, but mostly to understand you. The Moon, yeah. And that's when we don't know about somebody, yeah. You have somebody, it could be a family, it's somebody who's close to home, Ten of Cups. And it's been out of balance because there's been, we have the Moon here. And we have the Two of Pentacles. It's almost like you've had a hard time trying to find emotional stability with somebody. Because there's either been secrets or just a lot of unknowns. Yeah, it definitely is you trying to find some sort of balance despite not knowing. It's almost like not knowing what's going on inside of somebody and trying to guess. And you can't really kind of make heads or tails of their behavior. And you're kind of like, well, wait, this is kind of really taking up too much of my mental real estate. Why am I even being bothered by this? It seems like you are trying to come back into an emotional equilibrium after being something off-putting with somebody who comes close to home for you. And I think you're trying to learn from it. And I think you're realizing the contrast of it. Like, wow, this person, are they even equipped, right? Are they even equipped to understand my point of view? That's what I'm getting. Are they even equipped to understand my point of view? I want to go straight to this Two of Pentacles because it's here in this energy of you just trying to find a sense of emotional rest, right? We opened up with that Four of Swords with the Ten of Cups. So it's almost like you want to rest in the I'm gonna say, I don't know why I'm laughing saying bosom, but you want to feel at peace about this person. But there's something about it. It's just like almost festering because we had that King of Wands with the Eight of Cups. And like you're trying to let go of something. It's like a dog with a bone. It's like, why? Sometimes people don't make any sense the way they operate. Let me see though. Two of Pentacles. But just because someone's causing disturbances outside of you, I think you're learning that you don't have to let it bother you. But it's hard. That's why the boundaries are important. Queen of Swords, boundaries, Three of Swords, Empress. Wow. Some of you, this is your child or one of your children, because we have the Empress here. Oof. It's almost like when you're like, I cannot believe, or it could be a family member. You're showing up in this beautiful divine feminine saying, you know what, this person's words, actions are hurting me, and I'm allowing it to really bother me. This could be, just, it's almost this divine feminine wound of like, no matter how much I nurture this situation, if it doesn't have to be a child though. I'm just saying that it's interesting, all of this like divine feminine, and I'm just talking about the bosom, and it's almost like rest in your own divine feminine. You're wrestling with the words and actions of somebody that is causing you to be upset, almost like if they're not communicating with you, or when they communicate with you, you're having to read between the lines and it's starting to bother you. You're uncertain about somebody in your life and their well-being or what they really want. This could be a divine masculine you're working with. It doesn't have to be, when I say divine masculine, don't get stuck on gender, because tarot is neutral. It's the energy. And I think that you're looking at your divine feminine and you're like, is this really supporting me? Not just the person, but just the way you think about it, because people are going to do what they're going to do. It's how we respond to it and what we allow in and what we are careful about. Again, it's like you want harmony. That's the Ten of Cups. You want harmony. You want peace. You want Gemini. I mean, it's like you seek that in others and you deserve that. So I think what you're doing is you're trying to come back into balance in the way you think about something after you've been pierced in the heart, and you're trying to do a lot of nurturing in May. So you don't let this person bother you, in what they're doing or not doing, how the choices they're making. It seems like you're bothered by the choices they're making. Nine of Wands, the challenge. This person has a tendency to kind of ripple a little, I wouldn't say chaos. It's this person is not coming from a balanced place, and then it disrupts your balance. Yeah. It could be some sort of family issue here. We have the Five of, or it could be somebody who you consider family, love partner, close friend, maybe even a roommate. But my Five of Wands is like bickering, it's like the challenge of friction in our lives and how it creates more intense emotions, because you have the Five of Wands and the Nine of Wands, which is a lot of fire. You could have had some difficult conversations with this person recently. And the challenge right now is to move beyond it and I think that you're realizing the first thing that came out was the Nine of Cups. Your personal, I have two nines here, Nine of Cups, Nine of Wands. Your journey with this contract in your life, because it's an important one, is to not allow the behavior and actions of anyone around you, especially this person, steal your peace, take away from how you feel from day to day. It's like almost like it's interesting. I just see a spider on my wall. It's like you're so deeply intrinsically connected to this person that it doesn't even feel codependent. Like you feel responsible for them in some ways, but at the same time too, you've established like they have their own life, I have mine. But it hits so close to home that it's almost like I want to like prevent more problems by being overly involved. Oh my gosh, and that spider just fell off the wall. And I was just saying that. And like when a fly hits a spider web and you can feel it. Yeah, you're so connected to somebody that you can feel what they're doing. And Spirit said, you may not want to keep doing that. It's like you're so connected to this person energetically. And so I think when it comes to this challenge here for you for this month, it really is about don't engage in any kind of beef with somebody. Let go. With that spider falling, you might want to look up spider, because it has a lot to do with the webs we weave and how those energetic entanglements happen. It's like you're untangling a ball of yarn and it's just been churning and spinning and getting more knotted up. And the way you do that is to first remove yourself from that environment. And I think that's what you've done. You've removed yourself from engaging with this person as much. You need to really just make plans to make yourself happy and to lean on the bonds that nurture you. Because there is somebody in your life, Gemini, this month that you're very disappointed in. It could be a romantic partner. And I think that what you're learning about it is how you need to take care of your own needs first. Let's go into this King of Cups. I feel like it's this person who's trying to learn how to approach you showing up as the divine feminine in your air energy saying, this hurts. You know, when someone says something to you, it's something I've learned too. A lot of times we absorb that energy and we don't say anything. And this whole energy of integration is opening up and speaking your truth. And I think what you're doing is you're learning how to emotionally regulate when you're triggered. And then when you come at this situation, you're coming from a really calm, because Page of Cups is like responding to something kind of like in a way where you're in the trigger. King of Cups responding to a situation is you are emotionally regulated, boundaried, and you're calm. And you're coming at something from your emotional intelligence, your relational intelligence. And I don't know if it's you or this person. It's almost like the way you're dealing with somebody, the way they're showing up needs to change. And I think that's what you're expressing this month. And I think they're aware of it, okay? I think they're aware of it, that you're kind of putting your foot down around this. That's what it feels like. Wow. Okay. Some of you, this is conflict with a significant other. It could be a situationship, dating, you know, it could be a family member. However, whatever the category of relationship this is, it's not the point. The point is that you are learning how to be careful when it comes to engaging in a war with somebody. You've been learning about communication. And this King of Cups energy in the future here that I see is that there's a lot of clarity that you're going to be getting about the situation that you didn't have before. If you were worried about somebody, and also some of you, if you were worried that wasn't going to actually move forward because there has been conflict, a fallout, or this is someone that you have been thinking about leaving, I almost feel like there's going to be a turnaround. I don't see this very often, but we're going from a Page of Cups to a King of Cups. So whether you're dating and it's new and you're not sure what's going to happen and it feels a little off and you're like, I don't know, or you've been with somebody and it's I don't know if we should stay together. There's a lot of clarity and almost like this apology of someone coming in and actually communicating with you things that haven't been said. And I think you're learning a lot about what I was mentioning earlier, speaking your truth, is like when someone hurts you, you may have had a tendency to just kind of like absorb it and not say anything and maybe go to your friends and tell them. But I think what you're doing in the future is you're communicating with this person from a clear, stable, calm place. Like, this hurt me. And I think that because you've pulled back and put up boundaries, you're not as affected by how they respond to it as you have in the past when you've engaged with this person. It's like you're saying, I want clear communication from the heart. And if you can't do that, then, you know, it's like that. It's like a kind of a make or break month for you in some sort of important connection in your life, whether it's a new person or someone you've been dealing with. I mean, obviously, if it's a new person, you've been dealing with them too, but new or old. Okay, we'll say that, new or old. And I think that's been kind of on the line. Like, am I going to really, is this going to move forward or is this not? Are we going to repair the rift or not? Because there's definitely a rift here with the Three of Swords and the opportunity and the Five of Wands. There's been a serious rift, all right? And I think that you have had high expectations around someone's emotional intelligence and harmonizing with this individual. And there's a lot of clarity coming in around this situation and lessons learned about how to communicate better together. That's what it feels like. You're taking a leap into the Nine of Cups. So it's almost like it's shaky. Sometime this month, you're like, am I going to find fulfillment here? And it's a little shaky. It's like a TBD. And now as you move forward deeper into May, towards the end of May, this is kind of how I see it. Nine of Cups, like what you don't see coming is like more of like as you move through the month. At the start of the month, it's a little shaky. Is this really going to make me happy? Because you're uncertain. What's happening here with the Nine of Cups? Because you're showing me I want emotional intelligence. I want to feel secure here. Do I need to abandon this? Because I'm not feeling secure. And Spirit is saying you're still integrating a new level of emotional awareness after people hurt you and how you handle it and respond to it. And this, if you can look at it from an eagle's perch, it's taught you to nurture yourself and then emotionally regulate and then respond to this person instead of knee-jerk. That's what it feels like. And this person too, perhaps. Reverse the roles however you want. But I mean, Gemini, you are an amazing communicator. So I'm going to kind of put this on the other person, okay? All right, you are taking a leap. It looks like, on a side note, some of you may have been dealing with somebody too. Sometimes the Five of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. You might have some uncertainty. We're going to talk for a minute about career, and then we'll go back to the timeline I'm seeing with this connection. You're putting a lot of work into something that really makes you happy. You have an offer, a new learning curve in your career, something new just for you. It feels like we have the Eight of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles with the Page of Swords and the Nine of Cups. This also is you learning about what you need in order to fill up your own cup and create more emotional stability within you. So no matter what is happening in others, you don't take that on as much. You know, okay, they're having their moment, right? I'm going to just let them have their moment, and it's not going to ruffle you. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to solve it. You may have a tendency in your fighting style to want to fix, right? And you may have been dealing with somebody who likes to conceal or flee if you're in partnership, because I do see that there's something here between a divine feminine and divine masculine energy and some sort of synergizing. You know, I'm not seeing temperance here, so that's why I feel like it's still being challenged, because it's like a lot of highs and lows, all right? Or if this is new, there's uncertainty. But I think what you're doing is you're learning how to communicate and how much you should invest or not invest in this in order to create the happiness that you seek. And you knowing that we got to put some work into this if we want to make it work. And I see you doing that, and I see this person doing that. So this is kind of like the, few steps back, few steps forward. It feels like baby steps towards growth. And sometimes you feel like you have to work really hard for your happiness, and it feels that way this month with somebody. I don't think it's your happiness as an individual, because that should be separate, for you are a sovereign. But it's almost like don't take on someone else's unhappiness or chaos and let that deplete you. It's almost like this could be somebody going through a challenging time around you too, and Spirit's like, hands off, Gemini. But I see a lot of clarity coming in. Apologies are being made, lessons being learned, and you taking a big leap of faith in your career this month, because you're going to get an opportunity. It could be money coming to you. It could be a promotion. It's something that you're going to have to learn, either it could be a new project. It's something new that I think is going to kind of be like, it could even be a new hobby for those of you who are retired, something that you really enjoy doing that makes you feel emotional fulfillment. That's the thing. No matter what we're dealing with in our connections, we're living in an era where it's really important that we nurture the parts of ourselves that make us feel emotionally happy and stable and content. And I think you've been dealing with situations where you're realizing you have a lot more power over your path and how you respond to something and how you actually are going to view it. And I think in the past, it's like you're changing your perception over a connection and how much you want to be involved in it or not. and also what you deserve when it comes to someone showing you how they feel. Not just saying how they feel, showing you how they feel. Because this is feelings. Page of Cups is very small. I'm just going to do minimal effort. King of Cups is maximum effort. Okay? So I feel like if someone's been kind of like reluctant to really invest emotionally in a connection with you and to show you how they feel, I'm getting that there's going to be a lot of effort in the future. Okay? I would say this is a nice positive turn if you've been going through a problematic connection in your life with anyone that you're thinking of watching this. But I'm going to get some advice before we go into the final oracle. Let me get some advice. And I think what you're realizing is, despite like the hurt that you've been feeling, you know now how to bring yourself back into balance. Again, that's the biggest lesson of May. You get to decide how you respond to things emotionally and what you're going to allow to disturb you or not, by what you're willing to take on in another person's actions and behaviors. And I see you saying, you know what? Yeah. And there's going to be a huge shift. And I think this person's going to start to be very generous with you if they have been a little stingy. I'm getting that for some reason for some of you. It's like 6 of Pentacles to the 8 of Pentacles. There's going to be an increase in investment and also an increase in pay. For a lot of you who have been working hard on your career, the biggest focal point is your emotions this month. But your career, you're really expanding here. And you're taking a leap into something new. And you have a lot of clarity about it. Doing what you love. Doing what you love. It's like, don't let anybody take you off course. That's what I'm seeing. You're still moving through some pain and boundary making, and you just don't want to perpetuate a conflict here. But I do see a King of Cups here in the future coming towards you with clarity, with an apology, and things moving forward after maybe a uncertainty over the future or the fate of this connection. I think it feels kind of like you may have given someone an ultimatum. And I think they're hearing you. Let's get the advice. The Moon, 10 of Cups, Queen of Wands. Wow. This is deep emotional fulfillment. I think too, for those of you who I'm getting this whole download of anyone who's single here, and you're just trying to come back into balance, bring in new connection, supportive connection. You're more clear about what you're seeking with someone and how mature they are. And I think that you're moving into a period of time where you're very career focused, but you actually are aligning with a very mature person coming in. And it's almost, because it's funny how this came out again, the Moon and the 10 of Cups. Some of this is past energy and what put you into a state of inner reflection and deep contemplation about what you want to call in next, because you're attracting a 10 of Cups experience, whether you're single or partnered, or this is a family member, like a child, or, a close family member, mother for some of you. I think you have a lot of hidden fulfillment here by you just glowing up and paying attention to your own frequency. Yeah, I think that you actually have a surprise in your emotional fulfillment in May that you maybe didn't see coming here. That's what I'm getting. Just keep focusing on what you're building with your talents, your time, your resources. It's being put into a new path that is full of a lot of emotional fulfillment, and you're learning a lot on this path. You're right. I feel like you're right where you need to be, but there's been some friction with somebody in your life, and you will find clarity over this connection this month. I think there will be an apology coming in. And for the most part, though, I see you in this beautiful balanced energy with the Queen of Wands, really being fierce and bold and charismatic and authentic and wanting more for yourself. And sometimes, ultimatums do work. That's what it feels like. Sometimes it's like, you know what? I'm going to shit or get off the pot, all right? I'm not putting up with this anymore. Why am I getting that? And there's going to be a lot of harmonizing. It's kind of fun because I'm seeing this as a surprise. You're almost like, maybe this ship is sailing but I'm getting that, at least the repair work is being done. This is definitely repair after a relationship rupture. And it could be self-repair, right? Or repair on the connection. Like I said, if you're single, you're still learning from all of this and you're integrating it. And you're synergizing with these parts of yourself and you're learning what you want. And while it may remain hidden from you, it's coming for you. All right, Gemini. You keep doing that glow up. That's what it feels like. A deep, deep, divine feminine glow up. Male or female. This is when we nurture our emotions and we find inner fulfillment. Speak your truth. That's what I was talking about too. Speak your truth, Gemini. And you know how to communicate, but sometimes we have a difficulty with people because of the way they show up. Water bird, number 10. And like I said, a new beginning. Let's see. Water bird. The water bird pillar guides us to be truthful in our communication. When you speak your truth, you also live in truth as you learn to differentiate truth from your thoughts and see things as they are. Through self-reflection, we will also be better able to accept the self as we gradually stop judging or harming the self with negative thoughts. Truth, after all, doesn't judge or make assumptions. This card is an invitation to develop a higher awareness of the self through self-reflection. You can start by keeping a daily journal of your thoughts and feelings. Do your words reflect who you are? Are they aligned with your actions? Can you hear your true self when you speak to others? Our mind, like water, gets muddy at times. Wait until the mind is clear and calm before you speak. I love it when these oracle cards back up the reading. That's what I was getting, emotionally regulate before you speak. And that's what you've been learning. The bird knows that our reality is a reflection of our thoughts. Speak kindly to yourself from a place of love and truth will embrace you. All right. That is your reading for May. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, Gemini. Lots of love.